Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And it's time for more cards! Woo! Anyway, we are back with looking at some of the members of the Dawnguard faction from the Dawnguard expansion of the Dawnguard DLC expansion custom card set that Hazash has blessed us with. Once again, thank you for that. Gonna give him a thank you every video because it's a nice thing to do. Content for me, cards for you lot to look through and review, links to the sets obviously because the full set's all out on Reddit for you guys to look through. I'm just looking through them now because I'm a bit behind, but anyway, here you're going to see some more Dawnguard cards. The first set that we looked at of Dawnguard cards was very heavily based on Slay and slaying other cards, and here you're going to see how these cards kind of fall into this effect further and help out the Dawnguard faction. And as you can see, they're still sitting with their Crusader colours, so a lot of strength and a lot of willpower cards. Anyway, let's move on to the first card, what you're here for. Sunfire. It is a 3-cost strength action, which will deal 3 damage to a creature, but if it's undead, it will deal 5 damage instead. And it's a very simple like little spell, or action even, which is basically just used to kind of get rid of the undead and flavour against this new archetype, just to kind of threaten them a bit. I think one thing that I would say that this card could also do, as just as a personal preference, you guys could all massively disagree with me and just shut me down in the comments here, but I think it would be cool that if it's undead, not only would it deal 5 damage, but it could also break through wards. I feel like that could be an interesting idea, because I know a few of the vampire cards we were looking at have wards, and this would really spook them out, the fact of having that. But no, I think just the flavour of how it works right now fits in with lore accuracy, has been mentioned, and you know, it's only a common card at the end of the day, so how it works there is just fine. Now, next we have the mighty, but somehow common, Thought Dawnguard. A 6-cost support location with 2 uses. And I have had a look through this, and this effect, oh, I'm a big fan. Equip a friendly unequipped, not unequipped. They're not unequipped, they're not dead. Unequipped creature with a Quicksilver crossbow. And if you don't know what this does, it basically gives a card +1/+1 and allows it to deal 1 damage to anything. A creature, or it can just go for the head, but very rarely gets used for that. Now, these Quicksilver crossbows are loved in lethal archer decks. And obviously this would fit into it. So, as I even mentioned here, it fits into other decks as well, even like Pilfer as well. But it synergizes well with the Dawnguard cards for Slay and their battle effects, because it makes the cards bigger. And it doesn't... it's definitely very balanced, because it can only equip to unequipped creatures. If it could equip to anything, then it would become a bit of an issue, because you could just make a bit of a machine gun, or, well, semi-automatic, because it's once per turn. But like a semi-automatic rifle with someone, especially if you use a bunch of other cards which give your supports unlimited uses and allow you to use them multiple times per turn, like Cauldron Keeper. This could just become a semi-automatic rifle if it didn't have that limit of being only to unequipped creatures. So I think that's very nice to see there. But it's quite simple though, and also I will say the artwork is phenomenal for Thought Dawnguard there. Big fan of that. Next we have a Dawnguard Rookie, a 1-cost 3/2, so very good stats straight away, but as a drawback it summons a target for your opponent which has guard, and even though it is a drawback, it synergizes well with the Dawnguard cards because of their slay abilities, and the fact that they've got Quicksilver crossbows just to shoot them down. So I think this is just a really nice card for them to have, and it's nice for a lot of Slay decks as well, even if willpower doesn't always fit in well with Slay. You know, sometimes you just want to have, like, is it like Ebonheart Pact is quite nice, I think, as a combo for that. Maybe this will allow you to kind of think again about switching it all out a little bit. And Dawnguard Rookie is based on Agmir, who gets wrecked by Isrod. He does get a bit wrecked as soon as you start the DLC. But you know, he's there. He happily goes to join. Like, we've got some repeats in the set as well, so just keep that in mind if you do look through this set and you recognise a few cards. Like, we've got the Durak repeat, we've got Toland's repeat, we've got a couple others coming, but yeah. Next we have War Dog, a 4-cost 4/2 beast, which when summoned will choose another friendly creature. After a creature attacks the chosen creature, battle it. So this is basically something to embody man's best friend. Very nice. And it's nice to see because it means that it's basically there to kind of protect its master, which is quite nice. And the fact that it's, you know, not got too much health makes it an easy target for removal, which is a good point here. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to see. Just to have your cards basically have, like, it's a thing that I considered a while ago, which is like a guard for a guard almost, that you could have, which means that it can make an unfavourable attack order and kind of goes into strength's defensive side, I guess, or basically which would it's a strength card, but it leans into support other attributes mainly. But it's a very cool idea, and the fact it's got 4 power means that it's quite ready to start chomping through units. Next we have for Beastmaster. We've seen him again in part 2 as Gunmar, but we haven't seen Armoured Troll, the 6-cost 4 power 7 health guard, which Armoured Troll battles the first enemy that damages it each turn. So if a card damages it, which, let's have a look, so I want to double check, is this going to be something where you can, like, if an item hits it or something like that? Yes. If the opponent plans to use a damage-dealing action to help finish off the troll, they better attack creatures first to prevent it from damaging them directly. Yeah. That's always an interesting thing there, that it could, like, hit the face if you use your actions. So you've actually got to make sure you get past it in quite a way, and it's got a chunk of health as well. So the first thing that damages it basically will get stomped out one way or another, even if the Armoured Troll has to go down with it, making it a very cool and interesting card. And like, as I said here, attacking but not killing a creature of its owner's turn will essentially give it an extra attack. A good target for giving breakthrough as well, because obviously strength has a few cards to give things breakthrough. And the fact that it's got guard forces your opponent to actually, you know, not just ignore this. Now we have a card which has an artwork which is phenomenal. The artwork's personality is phenomenal as well. We're not just talking about certain things to do with the artwork, that'd be weird. Anyway, Master Arblis, a 4-cost 0/2, which when summoned will equip a friendly creature with a Quicksilver crossbow, and when you damage a creature with an effect, increase the damage dealt by 1. Now, I have a feeling intelligence decks would love this. Like, instead of seeing Aldmeri Dominion, like, punish, you might see some Guildsworn punish with this, because lightning bolts, fire bolts, stuff like that would love this, just to get even more value. And as you can see, like, it plays into several different things as well, like lethal, pilfer, slay, because it's giving you a Quicksilver crossbow. You can give your pilfer unit something to shoot directly. You can give any of your lethal cards it just to pop off something else, or you can just give it to something and deal 2 damage, because it increases the damage dealt by 1 to creatures. And I don't believe your head is considered a creature, so it means you can't just directly snipe your opponent for 2. But this is a very cool card and it has a lot of utility with it. And obviously it is based off of Breton, so it has to be a Breton, because it's based off Serene Gerard. But like they've mentioned here, it would be nicer if it was a Wood Elf, but obviously because of lore reasons we have to keep it as a Breton. And then finally we have Priest of Arkay with a mighty card art holding his fancy as hell piercing javelin as a 6 cost 4/7 drain, which means creatures can't leave the discard pile, which completely curb stomps any resurrection deck. Just like the one I was playing the other day that some people were whinging in the comments for me playing, but I wanted to play it, so oops. Anyway, before the commenters come and murder me in my sleep. He also means if you, at the end of your turn, if you gain 5 or more health, he restores a rune. This is a wonderful effect. Wonderful. I always thought that something that, as much as runes are obviously quite annoying to break, or having them break, you know, it's a very good mechanic. And having them come back is a very cool thing as well. So, not only has he got a very good passive effect, but he's got an outstanding effect of returning runes. Like, just this here, mwah, chef's kiss. And it's based off Florentius, who is a priest that Isran tells you to get during the Dawnguard DLC. Who has possible links to Arkay, because he's always speaking to someone who I think he does believe is Arkay. And we see here how he does make a very good kind of counter against the resurrection sides of vampires. And it's very cool. And then sadly, we've already looked at Isran, so that's the set. Personally, I feel like I haven't spoken too much about this. I mean, it's all phenomenal, that's why, really. And because my voice is slowly going a bit. But no, I've really enjoyed looking at this. I hope you guys have as well. Link will be in the description. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you, Hazash, for sending me this. And I'll see you in the next one.